So hi everyone. From today we will be starting with the 200 top 200 SQL real-time questions and answers. With explanations, I will be giving you the execution, also detailed execution, how we need to write the queries. Those things we would be discussing. Okay. So let's start with the first. Chandu, can you go on mute? Okay. So let's first discuss the problem statement, like what we have. So we were given a we were given a scenario where a customer is booking his flight and all his booking details. So we have these three like customer, flight, and booking objects are there, tables. So where we a particular customer, let's say customer ID C301 John. So whether he has booked, if you see in the booking details, you would see he has booked flight 101, which flight 101 means like it is a SpiceJet Airlines, which is of domestic. And flight in flight types we have domestic and international, and the source and destination and the booking IDs. So these are the like the data sets which we have available. So let's start with the question sets, like what kind of different scenarios we would be expecting. And with that, like I will start with particular question, like we'll go and execute, try to get the results from the SQL query. Okay. Now the question is like we need to identify the customers who have paid the highest flight charge for the travel class economy. Okay, it's very simple. Identify the customers who have paid the highest flight charge for the travel class economy. If you see our data source again, we have different travel classes: business, economy. Okay, in economy we need to get the customer who has paid the highest charge. Okay, so how do you approach this problem statement? Okay, you just understand the problem statement, then you need to come up with a solution. Now at the end we need to identify, we need to write to display ID. uh, is my voice clear, guys?
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay, so let me go back to my SQL query. Okay, first thing I need to identify what is the problem. What is the problem statement we have is we need to identify the maximum who the customer who has paid the right. 1 second. So we need to identify the customers who have paid the highest flight charge for the travel class economy, right? So first thing you need to what you need to do is first you need to identify from which and what are the two tables which we need to join, or whether we need to use a subquery. Those things you first you have to uh, know, you have to understand. Okay, so since it is asking for the highest flight charge, that doesn't mean that it is a maximum flight charge, which we need to find out in the economy class, right? So when you need to find the maximum flight charge in the economy class, you have to you need to like it should be striking towards the subquery, right? Okay, now let me first find out how you will find the maximum query, maximum of the flight charge. Okay, let's firstly simply you will write max of, okay, flight charge, max of flight charge. Okay, uh, now you need to identify like flight charge is uh, in which table, right? So flight charge is in booking table. Okay, so from let's say like I will first take it from the booking table. Okay, I'm taking the maximum flight charge from the booking table. Okay, now let's say, let me run it first. So maximum flight charge is 30,000. Okay. But again, you need to, I have given a scenario. We need to get the maximum of flight charge from particular, we need to get the maximum flight charge from particularly economy travel class, right? So you need to get from economy travel class, you need to get. So you simply need to write a, you need to write a filter where travel class should be what? Travel class should be economy, right? So you need to just segregate. First you need to understand the solution problem, and you need to segregate the like how first where we need to approach, and like, so in the economy it is like 22,000 rupees. Okay. Now, what you need to identify to display ID name and name, ID and name of the identify customers. So in order to display ID and name and maximum of flight charge. So I was, as I was always telling, whenever you are using, okay. So as I was always telling, whenever you want to use a aggregate function and their columns, you need to use a group by, isn't it correct? So my problem here, my problem statement says I need to identify customer ID and customer name. I need to get the customer ID and customer name. And if you see here in the customer, you have customer ID and customer name. Okay, comma, if I put this way, max of flight charge, will you get any solution? No. So what you need to do, you need to get some, you need to use some group by and all, right? So that is not possible. Now what I will do is, you just think of it like you need to get the maximum of flight charge as well as the customer ID and customer name, right? So see, from my previous class, I was explaining on the subqueries, right? So using subquery, you can get this one. What, like you need to get the customer ID and the customer name, right? So first you think of it, the customer ID and customer name and booking, how these two tables, how they are related to each other. Okay, customer id here, foreign key customer id is primary key is there. Okay, in the booking table it is there, right? But I need to have booking, so which flight, I need to get a this we need to get the travel class also, economy, as well as in which flight, whether he has booked a flight or not, we need to. So we also need to get the details from the flight, right? So we needed the help of these three tables: customer, flight and booking, right? So firstly, now go back to the problem statement again. Problem statement, what it is saying, we need to get the highest flight charge for the travel class economy. And second part, you see SQL query to display ID and name of the identified the customers. So from this query, I have identified the maximum flight charge from the travel class economy. But again, I will write another query, which where I need to find the ID and name of the customers, right? So I'll write customer ID and customer name. Customer ID and customer name from which table? Customer table, right? So now let me run it. Simply I'll run it now. So you are getting all the customer ID, customer name, but what we need the customer ID who has paid the highest flight charge for the class economy, right? So I need to club these two and find out the economy and flight charge, right? I need to club these two things, these two queries. How you will be clubbing? So I'll be giving some alias name here, so which is customer one. So customer one dot customer id, and again customer one dot customer name from customer alias name. Now I would be giving, I need to give a where clause again, which is I need to write a subquery. With the help of subquery, we'll get the solution for getting a maximum flight charge, right? So simply I'll write customer one dot. So I need to uniquely get some value, right? So I'll take customer ID in. So this is the subquery I just wanted to write. Okay. Now if I write like this, okay, let me run this one, whether I will get the answer or not, we'll see. You see like invalid number, customer one. So you're getting somewhere like this, right? But how, whether, now you see, again go back, sorry. Now you go back to my table. Okay. So I have a customer ID is here. Okay. And travel class is also there. Now I need to get the flight charge, okay, maximum of flight charge, right? So for that, so everything is in booking is available. From booking we can get everything, right? So now what I will do, I need to get, it is I want to get only the customer ID, but you where you here in subquery you're trying to get a flight charge, maximum of flight charge. So in subquery, if you remember from my previous class, you can get the customer ID only, right? So I need to get the customer ID. I need to club again these two. For that, first what I will do, first I will take the customer ID from the booking. Okay, what I will do, select, okay, simply, okay, let's first do select customer ID from booking, where, okay, what I will do here, again, I need to club this flight charge with the booking table, right? So I'll give some alias name, BK1, okay, booking one. Now the booking customer ID should come with the booking table, okay, where I'll just give flight charge. Okay, I want to get the maximum flight charge, right? So where BK1 dot flight charge, okay, flight charge equals to, again another subquery. It is a nested subquery, okay. So we need to get the travel class equals to economy, right? But if you are trying to do this way, what you will get here, you're getting select from this subquery. You see inner query, this inner query, select booking ID, booking customer ID from booking table, where flight charge equals to select max of flight charge. Okay, always remember, like I need to get the max of the flight charge, right? So again I need to give some alias name here, because booking bk1, it needs to identify correctly. So I'll give some bk2 here, okay. And I need to find out the bk2 dot flight charge from booking where travel class is equals to economy, okay. And again you need to identify, like again if you're taking this outer query, in outer query it will take economy and other travel class. We have two travel class, right? Here business is there, economy is there. So business would also include here. So we need to explicitly mention that it is only for the economy we are looking, okay. Now again travel class equals to, okay, I would be giving economy, okay. Now you identify, like always people will confuse with this one. If you put the cursor here, this is one inner query and this is one inner query, okay. So from booking bk1, I'm giving like travel class equals to economy and like this. So now if I run this one, okay, so I am missing flight charge here, t should be there, okay. Now you see C304 Albert. He is the person who has paid in economy. Okay, if you see C3 customer 304 is Albert. Okay, again if you see here 304 economy to 22,000. He has paid the highest in the economy. You can see economy, we have these three customers, 10,000, 3,000, 22,000, and we have identified it correctly. Clear for the first question, how to approach this one? Clear, guys?
It's clear.
Okay.
No, actually, you've already mentioned economy one time, na? Then again, why BK1 dot travel class is equal to economy?
Yeah, let me go back here. Suppose if I remove this one, okay, if I run this one, so in this case you may get it, but there might be chances, okay, you need to